When we talk about the richest F1 driver, one name always comes to the top: Lewis Hamilton. He is not only famous for his speed on the track, but also for the fortune he has built over the years. With multiple world championships, his salary from Mercedes has been one of the biggest in Formula One history. But his wealth does not just come from racing. Lewis has built a powerful image as a global brand. He has signed huge sponsorships with companies like Tommy Hilfiger, Puma, and Monster Energy. These deals bring him millions every year. Outside of Formula One, Hamilton also invests in businesses, fashion projects, and even owns a film production company. He has luxury homes around the world, from Monaco to London, and is often seen driving rare supercars that most people can only dream of. His lifestyle reflects the rewards of being at the top of the sport. From private jets to fashion shows, Hamilton has created a world where success on the track fuels wealth off it. This makes him the perfect example of how Formula One drivers can use their fame and talent to become some of the richest athletes in the world. Big sponsorship deals in Formula One, talent alone is not enough. What really separates the richest drivers from the rest are the big sponsorship deals. These deals are worth millions and often last for years, making a huge difference in a driver's overall wealth. Top drivers like Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, and Fernando Alonso have built their fortunes not only through racing salaries, but also through powerful partnerships. Brands want their names linked to the fastest men in the world, and they pay huge amounts for that exposure. For example, Hamilton has long-term deals with Puma, Tommy Hilfiger, and Monster Energy, while Verstappen earns millions from Red Bull's global promotions. These sponsorships give drivers security and financial freedom, even when they are off the track. They also open doors into fashion, technology, and lifestyle industries, making these drivers icons beyond motorsport. On the other hand, drivers without big sponsors often struggle to keep up. In Formula One, sponsorship money can decide a career's future. A driver with strong brand backing not only earns more but also secures their seat on the grid. This is why sponsorships are as valuable as race wins. They fuel a driver's journey, build their image, and often make the difference between being one of the richest or one of the poorest in the sport. Money from wins in Formula One. Nothing pays off more than winning. The money from wins is one of the biggest reasons why top drivers become so rich. Every race victory brings not only prize money, but also bonuses from their teams and sponsors. For example, when Lewis Hamilton or Max Verstappen takes the top step on the podium, they don't just gain championship points, they also unlock huge financial rewards. Teams like Mercedes and Red Bull pay performance bonuses that can be worth millions in a single season. Winning also increases a driver's value in contract negotiations. A world champion can demand a much higher salary than a driver who has never won. The more races they win, the more powerful their market value becomes. Sponsors, too, love winners. A driver who consistently wins is more attractive to brands, which leads to more endorsements and higher-paying deals. Over a long career, these winnings and bonuses can add up to hundreds of millions. That is why the richest F1 drivers are often the ones with the most victories and titles. On the flip side, drivers who rarely win may struggle to secure the same financial success, no matter how skilled they are. In Formula One, success on the track directly fuels wealth off the track, and every win pushes a driver closer to the ranks of the richest in the sport. Brand endorsements. One of the strongest income sources for top drivers is brand endorsements. These are deals where companies pay millions to have their products linked with the driver's image and success. In Formula One, where global attention is massive, brands know the value of associating with champions. Lewis Hamilton, for example, has worked with Tommy Hilfiger, Puma, Monster Energy, and even partnered with Bose and IWC watches. Each of these endorsements adds huge amounts to his yearly earnings, often more than his race salary. Max Verstappen is another prime example. As Red Bull's star, he is promoted across energy drinks, gaming, and lifestyle campaigns. Fernando Alonso has partnered with brands like Adidas and Kimoa, his own fashion line, while other drivers like Charles Leclerc work with luxury watchmakers and clothing companies. These endorsements give drivers recognition beyond racing. They become global icons in fashion, sportswear, and technology. For the poorest drivers, brand endorsements are rare. Without big wins or media attention, companies hesitate to invest in them, leaving their income limited to small deals or personal sponsors. This is why endorsements can completely transform a driver's financial status. A strong brand partnership not only builds wealth, but also keeps a driver relevant even after they retire from Formula One. Endorsements turn champions into household names and ensure their fame lasts far beyond the racetrack. Poorest F1 driver. While the richest drivers enjoy massive wealth, there are also those on the opposite side, the poorest F1 driver. Not every racer in Formula One earns millions. Some start their careers with very small salaries, often struggling just to cover travel, training, and living costs. For these drivers, the dream of reaching Formula One comes with heavy financial pressure. They rely on family support, small sponsors, or personal loans to keep racing. Unlike champions, their income is limited, and most of their money goes back into funding their seats. Many young drivers in small teams earn only a fraction of what stars like Hamilton or Verstappen make in a single race. Some are even pay drivers, meaning they bring money from sponsors to the team instead of receiving a big paycheck. This creates a huge gap between the richest and the poorest in the sport. Imagine racing at 300 km against millionaires while barely making enough to cover expenses. That is the reality for some. Still, these drivers continue because of passion and the hope that one big break can change everything. If they perform well, bigger teams might notice, leading to higher pay and sponsorships. But until then, they live in sharp contrast to the luxury lifestyles of the top stars, proving that not all Formula One drivers are rich. For some, the fight is just to survive in the most expensive sport in the world. Small team salaries in Formula One. Not all drivers enjoy massive paychecks. Many who race for smaller teams live with small team salaries, sometimes earning less in a year than top drivers make in a single week. These teams often have limited budgets, so they cannot offer huge contracts. A rookie or a lower-ranked driver might earn only a few $100,000, while stars like Hamilton or Verstappen take home tens of millions. The gap is enormous, and it shows how unfair the sport can be. Drivers in small teams also face extra challenges. They race in cars that are far less competitive, which means they rarely win or even reach the podium. Without results, they miss out on bonuses and sponsorship deals that come with success. Their salaries often depend on what sponsors they can bring to the team, making financial backing more important than pure skill. Some even accept reduced pay just to keep their seat and continue chasing the dream. This reality shows why Formula One is often called a sport of extremes. Some drivers live in super luxury, while others barely cover their expenses. Yet despite the low pay, these drivers stay because every lap is a chance to prove themselves. If they shine against the odds, a bigger team might notice and offer a better contract. For them, surviving on small salaries is just part of the struggle toward the top. Dream to succeed. At the heart of every racer's journey lies the dream to succeed. For the richest, it means adding more titles, wealth, and global fame. But for the poorest, it is often about survival, proving their worth, and securing a future in the sport. This dream is what pushes drivers through the sacrifices, long hours, and endless risks. No matter their background, every driver begins with the same vision: standing on the podium, holding a trophy, and being recognized as one of the best. For those with money, success feels closer. They have the resources, the best training, and the fastest cars. But for those struggling with funding and small salaries, the dream is tougher, yet often stronger. These drivers push harder, knowing one strong race could change their life. Their fight is not just against rivals, but also against financial barriers, doubt, and the fear of losing their place. The dream to succeed is what keeps them focused through crashes, failures, and setbacks. It gives meaning to the risk of driving at impossible speeds. Some achieve it, becoming champions and global icons. Others fall short, remembered for their courage more than their results. In the end, success in Formula One is never just about money. It is about the unbreakable spirit of chasing a dream that only a few in the world will ever live.